Before we begin, make sure to subscribe for more real-life stories of love, betrayal, and heartbreak. And don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think about this one. It all started with a text that felt harmless at first. My wife had been invited to a friend's party on a Friday night. "I'll be late. Don't wait up," she wrote. I tried to brush it off. Parties were normal, right? But that evening, as I watched her get ready, the way she hesitated before leaving, the way she glanced at her phone repeatedly, a small knot formed in my stomach. Something felt off. I told myself I was imagining things. Maybe I was overreacting. After all, I trusted her, or at least I thought I did. But the unease lingered. And then came the little signs. Missed calls I'd left, unexplained laughter over texts she'd hide from me, and sudden plans that weren't mentioned until the last minute. Each one made me question myself. Was I too controlling? Too insecure? Or was my instinct finally speaking the truth? That night, I decided to follow her. Not in a confrontational way. I just wanted to know if my doubts were real. I parked a few blocks away from the party, heart pounding, mind racing. And then I saw her. From the shadows, I watched as she laughed a little too intimately with another man. She leaned in closer than necessary, touched his arm lightly, but enough to make my chest tighten with a pain I hadn't felt before. I blinked, thinking maybe I was misreading it. But then she whispered something into his ear, a smile spreading across her face, and my heart sank. I wanted proof. Not to hurt her, not exactly, but I needed to know. I secretly filmed it. A few minutes of shaky footage, capturing gestures, laughter, and whispers. I didn't need sound. The body language said enough. My hands shook, and my stomach churned as I watched the moments unfold. It was surreal, like witnessing a stranger through the lens of someone I had once loved completely. The next morning, she came home. The apartment smelled faintly of perfume and alcohol, the kind of smell that clung to clothes and skin, impossible to wash away instantly. I could barely meet her eyes. She smiled as if nothing had happened, as if the night had been harmless fun. But I couldn't pretend anymore. The video on my phone burned in my pocket like a secret I couldn't unshare. I didn't confront her immediately. I needed to process it first, to gather the fragments of trust and affection I had left. I replayed the video over and over, each time feeling a mix of anger, confusion, and heartbreak. Memories of small, tender moments now felt like lies. Every time she touched me or laughed at something I said, I couldn't help but wonder if her mind was somewhere else, imagining someone else's presence. Finally, I asked her to sit with me. My voice was quiet, trembling slightly, but edged with controlled anger. "What happened last night?" I asked. Her eyes widened, and she opened her mouth to speak. It wasn't like that," she stammered. But her hesitation betrayed her. I took a deep breath, holding the video up on my phone. She froze. "I saw it," I said simply. I didn't want to believe it, but I saw it. Her face fell, a mix of guilt and defensiveness. I didn't mean for you to find out," she whispered. "It's complicated. I didn't know how to. I shook my head. "You didn't know how to what? Be honest? Respect us? Respect me?" My chest tightened and tears burned my eyes, not just from anger, but from the ache of betrayal. She started to cry, a quiet, remorseful sob. "I messed up. I didn't think it would go this far. I didn't mean to hurt you." But the words felt empty. Too little, too late. In that moment, I realized something I hadn't understood before. Love, even when real, isn't enough to cover deceit. Trust is fragile, and once broken, it leaves a mark that doesn't fade overnight. I loved her still, in a way that made the pain sharper, but I couldn't let the hurt dictate the rest of my life. The days that followed were excruciating. I replayed conversations in my head, trying to find the point where things had gone wrong. Every laugh, every late-night text, every unexplained plan. I dissected it all, searching for clues I had ignored. And yet, I also had to confront my own complicity in ignoring the red flags, the times I told myself I was overreacting, the nights I brushed aside unease in favor of comfort. Eventually, I made a choice. I couldn't continue living in that shadow. clinging to someone who had chosen temporary pleasure over honesty and respect. I told her I needed time apart, space to heal, and the courage to rebuild my life without constant doubt and heartbreak weighing me down. 2 years later, I've found quiet strength. I've learned that closure doesn't always come from others. It comes from oneself. I remember that night at the party not as the night she betrayed me, but as the moment I began to understand my own worth. I understand now that love doesn't mean enduring pain in silence. Love means recognizing when respect and honesty have been lost and having the courage to reclaim yourself. I've learned to trust again, not blindly, but cautiously, grounded in the knowledge that I deserve truth, loyalty, and respect. And sometimes in the quiet moments of reflection, I allow myself a smile, not for the pain endured, but for the resilience it built. If this story hit home, make sure to subscribe for more real-life tales of love, betrayal, and growth, and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever experienced a moment that shattered your trust? How did you rebuild yourself after it? I'd love to hear your stories.